There we go. How's it, guys? And welcome. If you're watching this video, you've loaded the SMC supply and demand indicator from Forex Evolution that we built for precision supply and demand entries. Just now, the purpose of this indicator is just to help you guys identify good, solid supply and demand zones without wondering, is it, isn't it? Indicator is going to do that for you. So let's share some charts and let me show you guys something. So this is just going to be a quick training video on exactly how the indicator works and how it functions. Now, I've kind of got this on replay mode. I just want to run through the settings, make sure you guys have the settings, everything is correct. So I'm just going to run through. Please pause the video, adapt your settings, make sure it is working perfectly. If you're struggling to add the indicator, just go to indicators and you can search SMC. Geez, how are we going to search it? SMC. There we go. And it's SMC and S and D. SND. There we go. So it's SMC and SND with signals from Forex Evolution. So just star it, add it. It's on your chart. Okay, so let's go to settings. It is going to be pivot look back number 5, show BOS change of character. These are important. You'll notice these red dots. Red dots is identifying trend direction. Okay, just with a simple dot. I've tried to keep the charts as clean as possible. You can change your colors if you want. Then trend source, keep it at close. Sensitivity, keep it at 2. ATR length 14. ATR calculation method 2. EMA 200. Okay, now show buy or sell signals. You'll notice there's a buy or sell signal there on the side. If you want that on or off, you can switch it on and off over there. We've got a EMA 200. You can change your length of your EMA if you want to, 100 to 200. We always use a 200 just for ultimate trend direction. So, sorry, keep that at 200. Perfect. Now, this you can switch on and off. This is a entry level or a TP stop loss tool based off of ATR. But before we get there, I want to just go through the training and the supply and demand zones. Then at the end of the video, I'll give you the settings if you want to use it. But I don't use it. If you want to, you can, but I want you guys to focus on the supply and demand zones and learn how to take the trades properly. Otherwise, this tool is going to confuse you because it does repaint. If a zone is invalidated or order flow is in a different direction or a shift in direction, the tool will shift. So it's important to understand when to enter and how to enter before using the tool so that you can distinguish between valid entries and non-valid entries. I'll show an example here. So I'm going to switch it on for now just to show you what it looks like. And then we can come back to this. So that's 14. This will be a 2. This will be a 2. That will be a 4. And this will be a 6. There we go. So it will look something like that. So you can see it gives you the entry, it gives you the stop loss, it gives you the TP levels. But it repaints. So I don't want it to confuse you guys. If you want to switch it off, you just turn all of this to 0, switch it off. Here's the important part. This is liquidity session high and lows. So please make sure you select America, New York. You select 7 p.m. to 3 a.m. If you want to change the color of your text, you can do that over here. If you want to switch the labels on and off, you can do that over here. Again, session liquidity 2. So the first one's Asia. This would be London, American New York time, 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. Then session number 3, you can switch it on over there. Labels switch on. America, 9:30 to 4. So it will look something like this. These labels, these lines, it shows you session liquidity. Extremely important, guys. Extremely important. Then recent signals, you can keep that at 300. One more thing. This display look back, I put mine on 2. which means it will show me 2 days of session liquidity. 2 days of session liquidity. If you make that 3, it's going to be 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. I keep mine at 2. I want the rest of my chart clean. Right, then you go default and you say save as default and we press OK. Your chart will look something like this. Now, it gives you the entry, stop loss, TP, but it repaints. You'll see what I mean in a moment. So I've already selected this area because in something important I wanted to show you was our red dot. Our shift in trend from bullish to bearish is here. So if we're looking to sell, we have to wait for a red dot. If you're looking to buy, you have to wait for a green dot to appear. All right, so supply and demand zone is identified there. We've got a red dot plus a red block. So criteria is met. Red dots there, red blocks there. So if we want to sell, we can only sell when price returns and taps into the zone. And the entry, stop loss, everything matches. So I don't like using the tool, but you're more than welcome to if you feel you need to. So there we've got a retest of the zone. I want a close outside. So that's a close outside. This could be a valid entry with a stop loss above the zone. Our targets, we don't really have clear targets yet, but it is a valid entry. When we look at supply and demand, we got a break to the downside, got the red dot, got the block. Now we've got a second block. So a retest of the second block. Let's wait for it. There we go. Sweep liquidity there. A retest of the second block. So you see what I mean? The buy signal is now repainted to the upside. But remember, we can't use a buy signal if we don't have a green dot. So there we have a green dot. That's a small little buy into our red block. But look at this. Just look at this. Now, entry criteria is red dot, supply and demand, liquidity sweep, untaken lows. That is our first sell entry over there. So that would be our first entry over there. Stop loss above the highs, and we would target these lows. This was a beautiful sell trade. Now we've got a retest because this is now a new supply demand zone. You see how it draws it for you. That was the first one. This was the second one. Because we broke through, it now just goes into a dotted line. You'll see there's just a dotted line. Let's zoom in a little bit. You can see it's just a dotted line, means the zone has been invalidated, but the major strong zone, so zone within the zone, still works, still applies. So this would be a nice entry, retest of that zone, nice short entry from there. Our stop loss would be above, just give it some room, and we target a 1 to 2. That would be a nice 1 to 2 trade over there. What it does. Now, do you see that? Our entry tool gives you the entry extremely late all the way down here. I don't like that. So I enter from the zone as soon as we close outside, showing that rejection candle with a bearish close. That is where I would want to get in. And I mean, there we are nearly at TP, and the tool only gives you a super late entry. So I don't like that. I'm not fond of that. But it does help a lot if you just want something with a little bit more guidance. If we go to a 3-minute time frame, you'll see the 3-minute, it gave a lower entry. So higher time frame, 15-minute, 5-minute zones, and then you can drop to a 2-minute, 1-minute for the entry tool to give you a little bit more precise entry. But look at this beautiful criteria. We've got that demand zone, or the supply zone that is drawn. We've got our red dot. We've got our sell signal. We've got a retest into that zone, a closure below. That would be my entry, my stop loss above. So that might be my entry there. My stop loss would be just above the zone and targeting these lows. That would be my trade. That's a beautiful 4-hour trade. The entry tool does give you a little bit of a later signal, does give you TP targets. Overall, I think this trade does come and take TP3. I'm not sure if at least TP2. But this is kind of what we look for. We want the red dot, we want the demand zone, and then a lower time frame sell signal. So overall, the indicator works phenomenally well. We also have our sessions being identified. So we've got Asia session, we've got our London session. This would have been a buy attempt. I would see this as a buy attempt. If we sweep this session, we get the buy signal, we get the green dot with a retest. I would have potentially tried to go long here for at least a higher zone. Failed. London, New York decided to take it elsewhere. But yeah, if after this sell zone printed, there's no way that we can still try and go along with this aggressive push down, showing us that the market wants to move down. So that buy entry tapping into this zone, we would have gone break even here and potentially just taken a break even. A retest of that zone could have taken that sell trade and take the trade down. So supply and demand indicator works extremely well. Sorry, guys. Headphones died. So the supply and demand indicator works extremely well identifying good supply and demand zones. You'll see as we flip through time frames, it really does an exceptional job of identifying good, solid supply and demand zone. Again, green dot, strong supply, price came back, retested the zone, we could have taken a trade. Retested the zone, could have taken a beautiful trade. So our zones are solid. Check there, green dot, retest of the zone, we could have taken that trade. So red dot shows the trend and off we go. So supply and demand indicator is doing phenomenally well. I just have to try and find a way to sharpen this tool on the entry model. So for now, I want to really say, guys, switch this off, go to 0, go to 0, go to 0, go to 0, and switch it off. Use our supply and demand levels. There's no need for us to play around with that entry model tool. If you want to, you can, but these signals